You know, Lola, it's really interesting because I have always prided myself on being someone who is pretty intuitive with people and very open and honest, and so much so that, you know, whenever I take on a new team, people say, "Is she for real?" Until they figure out, wow, she really is for real, right? Until you and I started speaking, and it was actually after you were hired by one of my people to work with him. And this is someone who I have been working very diligently with to really be more empathic and doing certain things that really needed to be done. And so for me personally, it was delightful to see a process that is a clear delineated process that not only someone like me, but anyone, period, can actually just paint by the number and really understand somebody else's point of view. You really caused me to put myself in the other person's shoes and to really understand, okay, what is going on with them? How did they feel? And then not only, and I could see it in my mind's eye, but to actually put the words out. And I'm looking at my notes because there's so many things that I learned from this process. They felt vulnerable, frustrated, angry, betrayed, helpless, devalued, disrespectful. And those are very strong words in and of themselves, just one of them alone, let alone going so deep. And it's almost like you're peeling an onion and you're taking one little piece at a time. And you caused me to stop and to really put myself in that other person's shoes and to clearly understand not only the other individual, but how they think I was thinking. And so it's almost like a double entendre, right? Like how are they thinking, and how do they think you are feeling? And what are they thinking of you? And a lot of times, and I talk to my staff about our brand and what do we want to be known for. And those are wonderful things to talk about. But what you have done from me have been the tools that I can go to my people immediately at this particular session. And for one session, I've got to tell you, and I know people are watching this, and it's important for them to know, I took 4 pages worth of notes. 4 pages. And I mean, look at this. These are golden for me. And they're a process that is so clear. I was able to literally write down the process. Immediately after our last session, I got a phone call from one of my people saying, "Betty, I need some help. I really frustrated this individual." And these are members of my senior management team. And I said, "Okay, stop right there. How are you feeling right now?" And I just went right through that whole process. And it was so simple for me to go through that process. I also want you to know that that process has worked not only in my business life, but it has also produced incredible results in my personal life, in my dialogue with my significant other, in really understanding where he was coming from and where I was coming from, in having that dance, and you call it the music, right? And having the music and really understanding that it's the cycle that is the enemy, and it's not the other person that is the enemy. Not that I was thinking that way, but really it's the cycle that we're talking about. And I remember talking to my senior manager about the cycle and saying, wait a minute, because this individual said, well, that person is. And no, stop. It's not the person. It's the cycle. Let's talk about that cycle. And what does that cycle mean? And how does that make you feel? How does that make him feel? How do you think he feels about you at that moment? And that was the defining moment for me to be able to break through. Could I have broken through without the nomenclature and without your process? Maybe, yeah, I would have, but it would have taken me a long time. And so what you have done is you have created an opportunity for me and for my people to have dialogue on you've taken crucial conversations and you've put them on steroids. And not only that, what you've done is you've taken those crucial conversations that it takes time and time and time again, and you've narrowed them down to a 30-minute conversation. But the person that is actually going through this has to be dedicated, has to be focused, has to genuinely care about the other person and really put them first and really seek to understand the feelings associated with a dialogue and how the dynamics are behind it. And so if they're really committed to their people or to the other individual, then that's when it's all going to happen. I think for me, my notes are golden because I've mapped out each conversation you and I have had about different situations, and then I've gone out and actually done it exactly in the same way, and it's almost like magic. You have to follow that process in order for it to be ultimately successful. So I can't thank you enough. I want all of my senior management team to do this, and I would love to be able to tell the world about this process. And Lola, you are so talented, and the way in which you personally follow your process and teach us to really go deep. I saw you and I witnessed you with about 15 of my team, the management team for one of my senior vice presidents. And the way you took the entire team through the process was very masterfully done. Everybody got the message. Everybody walked away with, oh, wow. The reaction from the men and the women was equally astounding. And I know in this particular group that they are far better off, far better communicators. And this is going to spill over to their personal life too, which is wonderful for me because we want balance. We want everyone to have a better life, a better communication with the people that matter most to them. And let's face it, we spend a lot of time working together and we become like family. And then if this can spill over to our family, when we come to work, we're so much better. We come with a better appreciation. We come 100%, we get to be 100% at work, and our productivity goes way up. So not only have you caused what Stephen Covey calls the speed of trust to go way up, but you've also caused the actual bottom line performance to go way up as a result. So I'm definitely a champion for this program, and I'm definitely a champion for you, Lola. Just the way you approach it is fantastic. Very, very masterfully done.